Hey YouTube, it's your girl, Emotionally Unboxed Ray. Welcome to my channel. I am on here because I want to just officially welcome you guys to this channel, and I hope that you guys will subscribe and you will go on this journey with me. I guess I should start off with saying I'm Ray, obviously Emotionally Unboxed Ray. Um, and I wanted to just let you guys give you a little tea about me and why I'm even starting YouTube. So a little about me is that I'm married, and I know y'all probably like, well, we don't care, but my marriage has shaped me into doing what I'm doing here today for you guys. Um, but we're separated. And in that separation, it has really taught me a lot about myself. Um, it is literally one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do in my life is going from being around a person all the time to only to basically just being by myself. Um, just being by myself. And so I found so let's backtrack. So when I first separated, and we were separated for like 3 months, we've been separated for like 6 months now. And I was really afraid to tell people that I was separated because I was afraid of what people was gonna say. I didn't want to say anything because I'm like, what if we work it out? And it's very evident, very clear that that's working it out, that's not taking place. So, and so I decided that one day I'm just gonna be real. I'm just gonna be emotionally unboxed, right? Because emotionally unboxed, anything less than that is unreal. And I feel like we live in a world where people aren't as transparent as they could be. I feel like the world would be a much better place if people were more real and honest about their dirt and their demons and their skeletons hanging in their closets. Listen, I know I'm not the only one. so, um, so yes, I hope that you guys will you subscribe to stay tuned to get more of the tea, to get more of my. I'm not gonna call it a testimony, to get more of my story, and my goal is that in hopes that if I tell my story, it will bless someone else. And then once I remember one time I posted a video, I went live on my page, and I posted a video about peace and how important it was, and how, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, because that's really what got this kick started. Sometimes when you're in a relationship for a really long time, I was with my husband for 5 years, but in that 3 year period, it was super duper stressful, and I didn't have peace. And I didn't realize how much I was drowning until I walked away from the situation. And trust me, that was the hardest thing I've ever done, was walk away from someone who has been around me for 5 years. 5 years, guys. 6 years, actually, because we officially got together in February. So 6 years to be around somebody, your best friend, someone you've loved, someone who knows you, to walk away from that was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do. But at the same time, because of the things that took place in my life, my dad dying from cancer suddenly, and my husband and our marriage falling apart, it just gave me a different outlook on life. And happiness and peace are so essential. And I didn't know that. And I know that might sound crazy, but I didn't know that. I knew what I felt deep down inside. I knew what my spirit craved, but I didn't know it like I do now, you know? And and so I was talking about how important your peace is, how important it is for you to, yes, you may love a person. Yes, person may be your world. Yes, a lot of things, but that is never a reason to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't love you the way that you need to be loved. And walking away just showed me, um, it just showed me a new profound love. And that's crazy because I haven't got the love for anybody else. I've simply just been allowing God to work on me, to mold me and shape me, but also loving myself as well, because I wasn't doing that before. I was so consumed in my husband, in my marriage, that I just put me on the back burner. So I think it took me so long to walk away, because in my mind it's like, who am I outside of this marriage? What if, we just going through cycles? But nobody should go through, you should never be with a person based off the hope that you have, the hope of hope, okay? That a person will change, that a person will do the thing. No. And this is not to badmouth him at all, because I love him. But at the same time, he didn't love me the way that I needed to be loved. And don't be in a relationship with someone who treats you bad. And I had to learn that sometimes just because you see the potential in people don't mean that they see the potential in you, or they see the potential in themselves. So, I was surprised at how many people responded to that video. I was like, wow, like that's crazy. Like I didn't know other people went through those things, but in the process, it made me feel good, because I'm like, I didn't see no videos. I didn't see them thoughts, and I didn't have nobody to just be real and be honest. Like, we ignore our happiness. We ignore, sometimes we ignore acknowledging, trying to be at our full potential. And so with me being transparent, that has kind of opened some doors, and so I'm just blessed that I can get on here and I can talk about my issues and not feel as if like nobody else in the world is going through it like I am. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, like when you go through a bad relationship, when you go through a bad breakup, it is one of the hardest things. And when you are learning to love, now I understand why they be like, love yourself first, enjoy being single, because when you don't love yourself, you allow people to do things to you that is not okay. In reality, it's not okay. And I had to learn that the hard way. I felt like I was one of those people who felt like, I was the lucky one to have you, and I should be loyal and cherish that. But in our reality, I'm the catch. You should be lucky to have me. And I didn't think like that. I thought that, it was the other way around. And so for years, I put up with a lot. I put up with too much because I didn't love me. And so I hope that this little video blesses somebody. I hope that if you're that person I'm talking about, if you're going through that, don't be with somebody based off the potential that you see in them and that they don't see in themselves. And don't be with nobody who's not going to love you the way that you should be loved. And if you don't love you, that's where you need to start. And so I hope that this blesses somebody. I hope that you will subscribe, because there's more videos like this. I try to only do videos when I feel like God has led me to do them. And I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like I'm just a spiritual person. But I do have a relationship with God. And And here I am today. Always, when the young ladies talk to me, they just like, how did you get to happiness? One day at a time. And literally one day at a time turned into 6 months later. And here I am, one day at a time. And I still got more one days at a time to go. But at least I'm one day at a time, 6 months later. And I'm surviving. It's not easy. It's not. Especially if you are married. It's not easy. And it's so funny because I see my husband about a week ago. I hadn't seen him in months. And all of those waves of emotion just came over me. And I realized that, like, nobody should have that effect on you. Nobody. They should if they love you the way that with the right person, it should. But with the wrong person, it shouldn't. And so that's my transparency about, yeah, I've been taking one day at a time. And yeah, it's 6 months later, but it's still hard. And it's okay to admit that it's hard. I think people feel like they're going to be judged. And honestly, you're going to be judged. Because honestly, it's more people in the world who don't acknowledge their hurt and the things that they need to fix than it is people who acknowledge it. So people are going to judge you for being real. People are going to judge you for being transparent. But forget them. Because at the end of the day, at least you're taking the time out to want to be whole for the person that is supposed to be with you. I honestly believe that God has that one somebody that you will meet in your life who will be meaningful, that will love you and reconstruct and clean up the damage of another person. I believe that. But I want to be whole for that person. Because, like I said, a girl who didn't love herself, who didn't know herself, who was drowning, who was consumed in someone else, who didn't really know no better, that girl got hurt. And that is who that girl is. That is who I was. But I'm getting whole. And in finding that whole, even like just talking to people now, I find myself like, red flags, I'm not talking to you no more. You do something that is just, that's not even remotely right, I'm not talking no more. You want to know why? Because I know what I deserve. I know what I want. And although it may take a little patience, I'm willing to be patient and wait on God for whatever He has for me. So again, thank you for watching this YouTube video. Thank you for taking the time to just hear me. And don't just hear me, because I want to hear y'all too. Subscribe, like, and I love you. And like I always say, being emotionally unboxed, anything less than that is unreal. Your story is your truth, and your truth, can't nobody tell your truth better than you. So I love you guys. And again, I'm emotionally unboxed, right? Bye.